Former Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva has been sentenced to 9.5 years behind bars on corruption charges. The conclusion of the 2-month-long trial saw the former leader, who was president for 8 years and was rumoured to be planning a bid for next year's elections, reject claims he received an apartment as a bribe in a corruption scandal linked to state oil company Petrobras. Lula, who says the charges against him are politically motivated, was told he could remain free while his lawyers prepare an appeal.
The disgraced US football executive Chuck Blazer, banned for life by FIFA, has died aged 72. He was at the centre of investigations that overhauled the sport's global management. In 2013, when he pleaded guilty to tax evasion and corruption charges, he disclosed he had cancer, diabetes and heart disease. Blazer spent 2 decades at the top of the sport in North and Central America and almost as long on FIFA's ruling executive. The information he provided eventually toppled FIFA president Sepp Blatter, but he misused the sport's funds to finance a flamboyant personal lifestyle. His cats famously had exclusive use of one of his New York apartments.
Donald Trump's pick for FBI director has said he would refuse to pledge loyalty to the leader and added it would be highly unlikely he'd agree to meet the president in a one-on-one situation. During a 4.5-hour Senate hearing, Christopher Wray said,
"My commitment is to the rule of law, to the Constitution, to follow the facts wherever they may lead, and there isn't a person on this planet whose lobbying or influence could convince me to just drop or abandon a properly predicated and meritorious investigation."
Trump has labelled an inquiry into alleged Russian interference in the US election a witch hunt. Wray rejected the description. The president fired former FBI director James Comey in May, citing the Russia thing as the reason for the sacking. Critics accuse Trump of obstructing the investigation. Among them are California Democrat Brad Sherman, who, in a long-shot bid, has filed an article of impeachment against the president. It followed the release of emails showing the president's son agreeing last year to meet a woman he was told was a Russian government lawyer. She was presented as having possibly damaging information about Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton as part of Moscow's suspected support for Donald Trump.
The US President Donald Trump and his wife Melania have arrived in France ahead of Bastille Day celebrations. The pair are guests of honor for the festivities on Friday, which will commemorate the entry of US troops into World War I 100 years ago. He's due to hold talks with his French counterpart Emmanuel Macron, and after a bumpy start to their relations, it's thought both leaders are looking to improve ties by focusing on shared diplomatic and military endeavors such as Syria and global terrorism. They'll later dine with their wives at a restaurant on the 2nd floor of the Eiffel Tower in Paris. There have been celebrations across Malta over its decision to legalize same-sex marriage. It follows Prime Minister Joseph Muscat's vow to reinforce equality on the once staunchly conservative and Roman Catholic Mediterranean island.
I think it's a historic vote. It shows that our democracy and our society is maturing, has reached an unprecedented level of maturity, and it's a society where we can all say we're equal.
The new law removes words such as husband, wife, mother and father from the Marriage Act and replaces them with the gender-neutral spouse.
I'm here today to celebrate the marriage equality. It's a huge, big leap for Malta. Malta obviously is the first position in LGBTIQ issues.
We are all human beings. I am not gay myself, but it doesn't make a difference. I could have been. It doesn't make a difference. We celebrate equality. We celebrate diversity as well. But we are here to celebrate this day in the history of Malta. It's beautiful. It's full of love.
Malta is the 24th country in the world to legalize same-sex marriage.
King Felipe and Queen Letizia of Spain have begun a long-awaited royal visit to the UK to cement ties between the two countries and relieve tensions over the uncertainty surrounding the post-Brexit future of the coveted Rock of Gibraltar. The three-day visit, which is the first for 31 years, was twice postponed due to Spain's political crisis in 2016 and then Theresa May's snap election earlier this year. The Spanish royals are to stay at Buckingham Palace and will be treated to private audiences with the Queen, the Prince of Wales and the Prime Minister.
Given these circumstances, we must particularly bear in mind the thousands of Britons and Spaniards who live in each of our nations, who form a sound foundation for our relations. These citizens have a legitimate expectation of decent and stable living conditions for themselves and for their families. I therefore urge our two governments to continue working to ensure that the agreement on the UK withdrawal from the EU provides sufficient assurance and certainty.
Gibraltar, the rock claimed by the British in 1704, is expected to be the main focus of discussions between the two royal families. Tensions over the peninsula on the southern tip of Spain were renewed after Britain's EU referendum last year.
Momento ahora por un espacio comercial y ahora nos step back e deporte con nuestro colega Carl Reiter.
Vida ta un fiesta inmenso pero tabo meste por colocabo proprio slingers nan. Anto sei